on the Sunday sit-down boxing special. We'll have a little bit of football talk a bit later. Firstly, the Suffolk Crunch is sponsored by Bad Shirt Club. Head over to the website, use the code TSC30 to get 30% off at the store. Get your shirts, get your bucket hats, get your jackets, loads of stuff over there. But yeah, thought I'd jump on and do a little review of the boxing last night. I'm feeling a little bit better than I did this morning. Bit worse for wear. We will go through that. We will go for, what should we go for? Around 10 knockout. We'll go for 100 likes on this video. Big up Fabio. Big up Justice Hooney, who put in a great display last night. But yeah, it was a real, I'd say, success as an event for the town of Ipswich. Obviously the football club. Good evening, Adam. How are you, mate? Hope you're good. But yeah, thought it looked a great event. Went down a storm. The weather could have obviously been a bit kinder. It wasn't great if you were sitting on the pitch and you were getting wet. If you're in the stands like we were, it was great. And it shows that how far we've come as a club. Putting on events like this. Obviously, we've got Ed Sheeran in July. And I think there'll be plenty more events throughout the summers as we go forward through the next few years. Don't know what the groundsman thinks, having a load of boards and a load of people on his precious pitch, but obviously that will be all taken up. Good evening, Marcus from Queensberry. How you doing? Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, the groundsman. Get the boards up, get to work on the pitch, and then I think obviously they've got to put it all back together for Ed, and then that'll be all taken up. And I don't think there's any town have not got no pre-season friendlies. There's not going to be a pre-season friendly at Portman Road this summer. So, as for the fight, going into it, obviously Fabio with his homecoming, big pressure on him to deliver, wasn't there last night? Did that weigh a little bit heavy on his shoulders? Look, I don't know. He's a confident individual. Obviously, the change of opponent with, I think, five weeks' notice. Did that help him? I don't know. I think I was talking to Matt Phillips. Yeah, Adam, I'm totally with you. The thought of any pre-season fixtures. Yeah, I like it. I'm not a massive pre-season fan anyway, mate. I like to go to the proper games. But yeah, getting back to the fight. I was talking to Matt Phillips this morning and saying probably this was a harder fight than it would have been against Miller. I think Hooney's a very good fighter. Obviously, he was undefeated going into this, and I thought he put on a really good display last night. Obviously, look, if you watch the fight, I think it's Fabio. He said that himself. He's probably struggled, but you find a way. You dig deep. What was the phrase he used? I think it was all grit, no quit, and I think that's probably to a T. You know, he wasn't winning that fight. I think he was only on one judge's scorecard. I think he'd only won one round, and probably knew heading into the championship rounds, as they call them, that he was probably going to have to knock out Hooney to get the job done, and he did. It was like, what an unbelievable moment that was, because it was pretty quiet. You know, it'd been a good atmosphere, and then obviously Fabio was struggling a little bit, so I think the crowd were quiet, and then he just pulled that out. And I did see that the Aussies are not happy with the referee's count. I did think at the time, did he count to 10? Look, was it a knockout punch? Obviously, you look in the books, look in the paper, go online. It was a knockout, and I don't think any of us has taken a punch from a heavyweight champion. So I'm not really going to sit here and say it wasn't. So, but it was a great moment. As soon as he went down, and then the referee called it off, and then Singing the Blues came on. Great brilliant. And then, yeah, look, he's now obviously lined himself up. He's probably going to get a shot, whoever wins out of Usyk and Dubois, which comes later in the year. Look, I don't disagree with you there, Adam. You know, Fabio probably. Rainbow Tractors, rewatching it, it's clear he was doing the distract hook move. Very Hollywood. Oh, there he is, Martin88. Get over, everybody, and subscribe to his YouTube. Met up with him and his brother last night. We'll go into that a little bit in a minute when we've had a final chat about the fight, because I'm a little bit worse for wear today. Too old for drinking. So yeah, now we'll get a shot, probably at the winner, I would have thought. Yeah, and Adam, look, is Fabio world level? He's moving himself up into a position. He probably struggles that he didn't have no real amateur boxing. So he is, what, 30? He's probably learning on the job, but you can only do what you can do. You can only beat what's in front of you, and he's obviously done that, apart from the draw that he had the fight before last. But look, he deserves a shot now. I think he's put himself into that position. 100 likes, please. 26 of you watching. Smash the like button. Yeah, he's put himself into the picture, and we'll just have to wait and see. But he's obviously going to go away. He's going to become a dad very, very soon, which will be absolutely brilliant for him. And look, Ipswich are on the map as far as I'm concerned now, with big fights, concerts. I know it's good for the town when one of your hometown boys performs, and if he'd have lost that fight, it would have been a real big letdown, wouldn't it? But luckily he got the job done, got him out of there, and he can move on. But yeah, it was a heavy night afterwards. I was going to go to the Curve. The Curve wasn't open. A few people saying online that some of the pubs were closed. I'm not really sure, because it was about 11:15 I think we come out there. Headed up to the Black Horse. Martin said go up there. Yeah, I agree with you. He was definitely feeling pressure on his home turf. Yeah, look, I agree with you there, Rainbow Tractors. There's always a chance. Look, he's got a punch, hasn't he, Fabio? He's got a punch and he's got a chin. So he's yeah, he's got a chance. But yeah, we headed up to the Black Horse with Martin and his brother. There was a live band in there. I'd probably had enough alcohol because went to the Cock and Pie before. Had food there, a few beers, then to the ground, more beers, Black Horse. And then I think there was about 12:30. I think there was a band on there, they'd finished. Then we went up to the Arcade Tavern, more beers, met up with some Ipswich Town. Good evening, Daniel Tutton. How you doing, mate? We headed up to the Arcade Tavern, met up with some Ipswich Town royalty. James Scowcroft was in there. Chris Kiwomya, spoke to him about his goal against Newcastle. 92, 3-2 at home when we won the league. Under Daniel Tutton. Hit subscribe and you will find out who I support. Come on, this is the Suffolk Crunch. I'm a Town fan. Up the Scousers. Yeah, spoke to Chrissy K about that goal. That's in my top 5 Town games of all time. Good evening, Keith. How are you, mate? Hopefully you're well and feeling good. Top man, Daniel. Well done. Anyone else watching who hasn't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Yes, and then we met Jason Dezelle, didn't we, Martin? He had more than a few, and he's probably like me. We done a bit of shadow boxing outside. Look, Jason is, every time I see him, he's such a friendly guy. One of my Town heroes growing up, the team under John Lyle, obviously along with Kiwomya. Always got a soft spot for Jason, if I'm honest. Always got a soft spot for Andre, if I'm honest, because he's got that link there. I know it didn't work out for him at Town, obviously. Now he's playing at Pompey. But yeah, Jason was in good form. Definitely in good form. He enjoyed the fight as well. So great to see them there. Kieran McKenna was there, Matt Holland was there, obviously Mark Ashton. I see Wolfie was there. See from his Instagram, he was there. And look, just great night for the county of Ipswich. Great night for Suffolk, and not a great night for my head because got back to the hotel, Travelodge. Martin knows we had a beer. It's 24-hour bar in there. Unbelievable. The one down by the quayside, Duke Street. I think I got to bed about 3 o'clock this morning. Not great. Headache central when I woke up. Went to the Cricketers with my boys. Didn't fancy eating, just needed something to drink. Not more alcohol. So we popped in there and then headed home. So great night. Looking forward to Ed Sheeran in a few weeks' time. But yeah, obviously McKenna was there. Obviously now we've got the domino effect, as I call it, in operation. Obviously, and just gone from Tottenham. I don't know what you think of that in the chat. I mean, you can see it from both sides. I mean, Tottenham haven't won a trophy for years. Was it 2011, was it? I think something like that, when they won the League Cup. So Ange's delivered them Champions League. He's delivered them a trophy, and then he gets sacked. So obviously it goes on league form. They've lost 22 games. He could probably say, I've had a lot of injuries. At the end of the season, we're concentrating on the Europa final. But I find it strange? Not really. I think it's football. I think it's Daniel Levy. So he's gone. Now it's obviously looking like Thomas Frank wants to go there. I think he's said that he wants to leave. I think there's a 9 million buyout in his contract. And obviously that domino falls there, and then it could fall with McKenna going to Brentford. He's been linked. No odds out yet because obviously they've still got a manager in situ at the minute, but he is the bookies' favourites when there is a job becomes available. I've not looked to whoever else could be on that list. I don't know, but I think it would be a good move, I think, for McKenna back in the Premier League. Good club, Brentford. You're probably going to lose. Mbuemo's going to go. You lost Tony last year. They always find a way of replacing these players. So look, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I want Kieran McKenna to be in the dugout next season. We want stuff like this wrapped up as quick as we can, obviously, because we want them to be signing players, and certain players might want to stay if Kieran stays, and then might want to go if he's not here. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks. I think it was 9 weeks this weekend until the season kicks off, which will soon come around. They're probably back in pre-season, end of June. I know they've got a game lined up in Austria. No other friendlies announced yet, but so yeah, it's going to be interesting with McKenna. Frank to Tottenham, I think he's probably a goer. I think he deserves a move to go there. I think he's done a great job at Brentford, but I think you go into Tottenham, immediately you're under pressure. Pressure cooker gets turned up when you go to a big club. Obviously Tottenham fans have got big expectations. A lot of them are not happy with Postecoglou going, and I see some saying it was the right thing. So obviously Daniel Levy, he's never really the flavour of the month with their supporters, but it will be interesting what happens with Kieran. But yeah, other than that, I had a few transfer whispers yesterday. Nothing to really share on here at the minute, because sometimes you get a whisper. Someone sends you some information, which is obviously, you don't want to abuse that situation by passing on information if it's false or if it's true. So if I get some information, I sometimes, or most of the time, I will keep it to myself. I might share it with a couple of my friends, but I don't want to sort of go on here and have like 1,500 people or whatever watching it, and then you don't get that information after that. It sort of that disappears because I think like there's no trust there. So we will see what happens with that. I did see online today Russell Martin interested in Flynn Downs for Rangers, at least 10 million. I think Rangers have got new money coming into the club, but they said they were going to get injected, I think, about 20 million. So I don't really see him blowing 10 million on one player if that's Russell Martin's budget. So look, I haven't made no bones about my love for Flynn Downs, and I'd take him back in a heartbeat if he was available this summer, obviously in the midfield, which is obviously the main area at the moment of rebuilding that we want to do. Anyway, cheers for watching. Done 15 minutes rambling. My voice it's here and there, but yeah, 100 likes please on the video. Share it with your mates. Hit subscribe. Head over to Bad Shirt Club to get all your hats, bucket hats, shirts, jackets for your stag do's, parties, darts, T20. Watched that earlier. England 2-0 up against the West Indies, have won the series, so that was good stuff. I don't know why it was on Channel 5, just flicking around, and there it was, which was a nice surprise. So I sat down and locked in and watched that this afternoon. But yeah, we will be back sometime in the week. I'm off to Lords on Wednesday, South Africa, Australia. Might do a little live from Lords if I've got any signal. But cheers for watching, guys, and see you on the next video. All the best.